Ivanka Trump looked somber as she attended a meeting at the White House on Tuesday and listened to her father's comments about immigration. The first daughter, 36, kept a stern look on her face as she sat down for a lunch meeting with the president and Republican lawmakers in the cabinet room. Dressed in a white shirt with her long hair down in a straight do, Ivanka played with the pen she held in her right hand, pulling a series of mournful expressions. She sat 5 seats away from her father during the lunch meeting, which was supposed to be closed to media. Her father ended up making unexpected remarks in front of television cameras, congratulating himself after the Supreme Court upheld his travel ban. He said he now plans to ask Congress for an increase in funding for his proposed wall along the border with Mexico so it can be finished quickly. Trump said Republicans would make border security a centerpiece of their campaigns ahead of congressional elections in November. The House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on a Republican compromise bill on Wednesday that would provide $25 billion in funding for the wall, a top Trump priority dating back to his election campaign. There are doubts, however, whether that bill, which seeks to bridge divides over immigration policy between conservatives and moderates in the party, has enough support to pass. On Monday morning, Ivanka failed to raise a smile while heading to work in a Secret Service SUV. The first daughter looked somber as she departed her Washington, D.C. home a little after 7:30 a.m., in a cream ensemble and statement earrings. While Ivanka is usually seen making the walk between her front door and the Secret Service vehicle waiting outside her home, she opted to leave straight from her garage. She wore her long blonde hair loose around her shoulders, and she sported natural-looking makeup, including rose-colored lipstick. The White House senior advisor often looks at her cell phone or makes phone calls during her daily commute, but she appeared to be deep in thought on Monday morning. Ivanka alternated between looking out the window of the SUV and staring straight ahead with her hands resting in her lap. The day before her commute, on Sunday, she used the U.S. immigration crisis to promote her program to help female Latin American entrepreneurs. President Trump's daughter retweeted the April announcement of her $150 million 2X America's initiative, arguing it was part of the solution. She promoted the initiative just days after her father signed an executive order stopping the forcible separation of immigrant children from their parents. The program commits $150 million and plans to raise $500 million to give seed funding to female entrepreneurs in Latin America. Ivanka has come under fire for failing to speak out against her father's administration's policy that saw thousands of children separated from their parents after crossing the border. President Trump ended his administration's family separation policy last week after weeks of mounting public outcry. He signed an executive order on Wednesday to keep migrant families together. On that day, Ivanka once again looked somber as she attended a White House meeting regarding immigration. The first daughter listened as her father discussed immigration with Republican members of Congress. Ivanka, dressed in a clinging white sweater and an $80 Zara skirt, rested her head on her right hand and on that occasion too kept a pen in her hand. She was photographed during the meeting between her father and lawmakers, looking on with a solemn expression. At one point she was also seen biting on her black and gold pen, while holding a black hardback notebook in her arms. The notebook appeared to be embossed with the president's signature in gold. While the firestorm over forced separations of migrant families consumed the White House, Ivanka, the presidential advisor who has billed herself as a force for good in the administration, remained out of sight. She didn't make any public comment about the issue until after her father signed the executive order ending family separations, at which point she wrote in a tweet, "Thank you at POTUS for taking critical action ending family separation at our border. Congress must now act plus find a lasting solution that is consistent with our shared values. The same values that so many come here seeking as they endeavor to create a better life for their families." More than 2,300 children were taken from their parents under the administration's zero-tolerance policy. Ivanka faced backlash as outrage mounted against her father's policy, for twice sharing photos of herself enjoying some quality time with her own children even as families were being separated at the border. The first photo, shared by Ivanka on May 27, shows her carrying her 2-year-old son Theodore. When she first posted the snap, Ivanka captioned it, "My heart emoji. Many have since slammed the post in comments, calling the first daughter complicit in her message tone deaf. As the crisis continued at the border, Ivanka posted another photo of herself, this time enjoying a date night with her 6-year-old daughter Arabella. Once again, many deemed the post insensitive, including Morning Joe co-host Mika Brzezinski, who urged Ivanka to speak up and use her voice and her platform to help those affected by the policy.